Hello everyone, I am Abhijit Ganesh, your favorite programmer friend. Today I'll be talking about one of my favorite open source communities, the DOK community. So let's get started. What is the DOK community and why should you care? Let us say you're someone who has some level of cloud native experience and you would like to know what Kubernetes is, how to run databases or data related services there, and you don't know how to start. This community is the best place for you to start. You will be able to understand how to run skillful workloads on Kubernetes, and you'll be able to get a lot of resources for the same. The community has about 2,000 people who will be able to help you out with all the questions you have. And I'm also a part of the community. I have been an intern here for the past 6 months. So I can assure you this is a good place to learn new things, especially running skillful workloads on Kubernetes. Now, why is it important? Well, Kubernetes brings in a lot of advantages to your ecosystem, to your project. It is important because it is somewhat resilient to failures. And if you want your database and your other data related services to be resilient to failure, you should consider joining our community and learn how it works. So this place is a learning community through which you'll be able to learn how to implement such cool solutions. Now, what is something new? Why do we have this video? Well, I have an opportunity for all the new members. We are starting a new challenge based series where every fortnight or every week we'll be releasing challenges with a certain technology. So, for example, let's say we'll be having a challenge with Postgres. We will be expecting to make a new repository or even a operator or any software for that matter of fact. We'll be making a cool project, and you will be able to understand how you can do the same through our recommended documentation, and following which you can also create your own cool project, write its description, and send it as a pull request to our challenges repository. So, for those of you who don't know what a repository is, a repository is a collection of code base, etc. Most people have their repositories on GitHub. There are some people like me who like it on GitLab. So, you would need to have a GitHub or a GitLab account, and you can join our GitHub. You can follow our GitHub organization and send your pull request to our challenges repository, through which you'll be able to learn how to make cool solutions for your problems, how you can integrate a certain technology into it, and so on. Now, you might be wondering, what if I mess up? What if I run into errors? And that is where, again, the community comes into the picture. We will be able to help you with a lot of resources, and you can reach out to me and other experienced folks there who'd be able to solve your problem, which is technical. So, I'd be expecting you to run into some technical error. A lot of people, I mean, if you're in the development world, you're bound to run into errors and learn from the same. So, when you run into errors, you can feel free to approach us and ask us what went wrong. That is another reason why you should join us. Now, all of this sounds cool, but how do I get started? So, I'll be adding our Slack channel down in the description. You can go join that. I'll be adding references about what Kubernetes is. I'll be adding documentation, and I'll be adding documentation about data on Kubernetes itself. So with these 3 points covered, now I'll be telling you how you can get started. So when you start working with database on Kubernetes or even other data related services, you'll run into a lot of issues when you're trying to configure a workload, because when I started, I thought a stateful set was enough. But in reality, it was not just a stateful set, it was a lot more than that. So you might run into same issues, and to solve all of them, we'll be having regular content being released. They might be videos, content, as PDFs, etc., etc., which you can check it out and make cool projects. Now, you might be like, all of this sounds cool. I get to learn, I get to play with projects, but what do I get out of this? Now, here's where the challenges come in. So, every time you solve a challenge, you get a credit point. And based on this credit point, we will be having a leaderboard through which we'll be rewarding the top community members who consistently put in efforts to learn. And through this, you'll be able to build a cool portfolio of projects. You'll be having a leaderboard, You might be featured on our LinkedIn posts, and you might also be featured in our blog. And apart from this, you will be getting sponsored swags. You got the idea. You'll be getting sponsored hoodies from our sponsors. So this is why you should consider joining us. Now, what are the places to check about these challenges? You should be checking out Twitter and LinkedIn. You should be following our, I mean, I'm not saying you should be, you can. If you do follow, you'll have a better chance of understanding it. So you should be following the Data on Kubernetes Twitter handle and the LinkedIn page. You can follow my social handles which are given below, and we'll be regularly updating you challenges. You can check our Slack channel for updates, and for every week's challenge, we'll have a deadline. I mean, not a deadline as such, but the deadline will be the calendar date after which we'll be uploading a walkthrough of the challenge itself. We'll be uploading a solution of sorts. So we'll be having a deadline of sorts, and after which we'll be releasing how to approach the whole challenge. Now, this all sounds cool, but how will we track your progress? Well, based on all the pull requests you submit to our challenges repository, we'll be creating a leaderboard as we mentioned, or as I mentioned, and then we'll also be helping you with all of this. So you will be able to track your own progress based on whatever effort you've put in. And through this journey, you'll be able to get into the cloud native world. So now you'll be having a question: why cloud native world and what even is it? So, the art of running software and applications on the cloud in a non biased way is the art of being cloud native. And Kubernetes is one such example, and it is a fully managed CNCF project. I'll be making more videos about being cloud native in the near or the distant future. So, if you're someone who's from a backend or a web development environment, this is a place for you to learn something more than that. This is a place where you can get started with this whole world of DevOps. And even if you're someone who's not working with DevOps, this is a good place to get started with, understanding how the world of DevOps might work. Apart from this, if you're someone who works with DevOps but not with stateful sets and databases, this is the place for all of you to learn how to do the same. And through this, you'll be able to build that application of your dream and probably deploy it and build your own next unicorn startup. So through this use of technology, you will be able to learn how one can build failure resilient solutions. And to start this all off, we have the DOK community. You should consider joining us, through which you will be able to learn a lot, win swags, and gain recognition. So that is why you should join us. Click on the Slack channel below, join us, introduce yourself, probably leave me a DM on Slack. Stay tuned for further updates. We'll be having a new set of challenges coming very soon. So stay tuned. Have a great day. If you like this video, leave a like, feel free to leave your comments and subscribe to my channel.